Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another outstanding episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. In one corner, we have the greatest thing on God's green earth. No, we're not talking about money, Mary Jane, or Popeye spinach. He is the tranquil dart of Ringside Society, Delaware's greatest American hero. And whenever he goes to Taco Bell, he asks for a cheap burrito because he loves the combination of chicken and beef. It takes two to make a thing go right. He's raw base, and you are not. And the second corner we have that ocean crossing, straight up Boston, flight catching, shot glass snatching. Where's he going next? Nobody knows. Four continents down, two more to go. No cap, straight facts. The worldwide star boy, Remy Blue. But it's not about us. You see, we have two special guests tonight. That's right. These two women are women that we consider two of the mothers of women's tag team wrestling. They opened the gates for several of your favorite female tag teams today, like the Beautiful People, your current WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, the Kabuki Warriors, um, the Reality of Wrestling Women's Champions, the Ladybirds. Hey, even our season premiere guests, Fire and Fury, everybody, welcome to the show. And let me tell you something before I say who they were. These women are two-time former WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, and they defended their belts with a lot of style and most specifically a lot of glamour. Everybody, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, Judy Martin and the Hawaiian Princess Leilani Kai, the Glamour Girls. How you doing tonight,
Hello.
ladies?
Woo!
I'm doing good.
You know,
A little
first,
bit before this happened, but I'm doing great.
I first off, ladies, and I have to apologize, humbly to. I'm going to apologize first off to you, and also to our good friend Steve Stasiak, who arranged this, who helped arrange this for us, and to our listeners, followers, and our listeners, followers, and viewers. We apologize for the late start. We had some personal matters, more specifically, I had some personal matters I had to attend to, and we had some technical difficulties that resulted in us being having a late start, but our apologies once again. This is not how normally we do things, and it's an honor to have you ladies on here. 11-year-old me right now is actually jumping up and down in excitement because if I had told my 11-year-old self, I'm 42 years old right now, but if I told 11-year-old me, hey, Remy, guess what? You see those two women in the ring that you just saw at Survivor Series 1987, that you just saw face off against the Jumping Bomb Angels? You're going to interview them one of these days. If I had told 11-year-old me like that, I would be like, you got to be kidding me. No, no. But here we are today. And here we are speaking with two legendary women. And it's an honor to have you ladies on.
Thank you for having us on.
No problem. So I gotta ask you, ladies. You started tag teaming in 1980, in well back in the 80s, and you know you made a success. Out of you made a success out of you ladies teaming up. Like, what was the thought process between you ladies? Like saying, hey, something, you know, you're pretty cool, I'm pretty cool. Let's make something out of it and go after those tag team titles. Like, what was the mindset behind forming that?
Um, I can you tell me that one more time? But last sentence.
Oh, my apologies. So
I
you ladies started teaming
am
up.
trying to understand.
Oh, so you ladies started teaming back in like the early 80s, and you were singles wrestlers before. What was the mindset or the mindset that made you decide, hey, we can do something great as a tag team. Let's go ahead and form the Glamour Girls.
Oh, okay. I guess that happened like 1986. Um, we were talking about it with Jimmy Hart and I think Ricky Steamboat, and Jimmy Hart came up with like something glamorous and gold and black, and Judy had already had the name Glamour Girls, and I don't know, we just talked about it and it just come to form, and I knew it would work if we could do it, but getting there in that type of situation wasn't so easy, you know. So, but we end up doing it. Um, Moolah wanted to manage us and as a tag team at the beginning, and this came after we were talking about the Glamour Girls, and Judy and I wanted Hart to manage us, and we were going to change our whole image. Um, but going over that and trying to do what we wanted to do, wanted to work on our own. It was hard, but we got there. Um, what? Let's see. Uh, Pat Patterson came to our dressing room after we'd had a meeting with Vince and Moolah, and we couldn't actually speak what we wanted to do in front of Moolah being there. We couldn't say anything to Vince. I couldn't say anything. It was kind of hard, and because we were having a meeting, and uh, Moolah was telling Vince that she wanted to manage us, as a tag team because they weren't using girls that much at that time, and they were trying to come up with some ideas. But Judy and I already had ideas about what we wanted to do, and so we ended up leaving that office, not telling him. But I think he knew that we had something in mind because he sent Pat Patterson back to the dressing room at TV and asked us what was on our mind. Wasn't that right, Judy? I think.
Yeah, yeah. When we was at one of the TV shows, Pat come back and then he said, "Okay, girls, now tell me what y'all wanted to say that y'all couldn't talk in front of Moolah." So we began telling him what we was going wanted to do and everything. But let me go back from your first question into what you was talking about, what our mindsets at the time. When Leilani and I first tag team, we always hit it off good. Our chemistry was always there from the beginning. It says both of us just had two different styles that Moolah didn't agree that would work together. But it always worked out when we did tags. So when we got up into New York, everything just started clicking.
Wow, that's awesome. And then, you ladies would actually go on to, you know, form, you know, a very successful tag team because you'd go on to actually win the WWF Women's Tag Team Championship from Velvet McIntyre and, Des- Desiree Peterson,
Mhm.
who was actually substituting for Princess Victoria, who was who unfortunately, I believe she had an injury.
Yeah.
So, you went on to win those tag team titles. And what was it like when you look back at it now, like, you see everybody, every promotion that has a pretty much has a women's division, they have a tag team division now. What was it like when you ladies got the 1, 2, 3 on, Desiree and Velvet, and then you won those tag team titles? Like, what was going through your mind at the time, when you
we did
became champions?
we did it again. That's what we're doing.
I can barely hear you, Leilani.
I said, my went through my mind was we did it again.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember first time. I can't hardly remember we got them. It was so long ago, but like we got them a couple of times. um,
The first time we got them from Joyce and Vicky Williams in
yes, yes,
Florida.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, everything was always so switched so much and fast, and everybody traveling different places. I just kind of forget sometimes. I have to refresh my mind. Then I'll remember. Oh, well. But I enjoyed being a glamour girl. That was the best time of my life as glamour girls. We got a contract with Vince away from Moolah. He was paying Moolah to use us to be the glamour girls. And she didn't like that very much, but that's what we did. And we got a salary every week. And it was the best time of my life. It was very short, but it was the best time. So,
Wow. But the thing is, not only were you ladies successful in WWF, but you also went over to LPWA and were able to win the tag team, the championships over there. Which, you've proven that the magic isn't just only in WWE or NWA, but you were also able to do it in LPWA. It didn't matter where you ladies went, you were gonna become, the tag team champions of that company. Now, was there any difference between, the competition in WWE and LPWA? Like, was it the same, or was it like, was there a bit of difference?
and LPWA and what now? WWF?
Yes, WWF.
Yeah,
Um,
there was a lot of difference in the
yeah,
wrestling, the girls and stuff.
yeah. WWE was mostly male and four girls maybe, and LPWA was a room full of women. It's a lot.
Okay. Yeah,
The girl, some of the girls in LPWA was a lot smaller than some of the girls we were working with. During Vince's time, like Velvet and Vicky, they were tall girls, and Wendy and Peggy Lee and there's Candy Malloy. There was a lot of girls, but they were a lot bigger than some of the girls that was in the LPWA. They had a lot of the short girls and stuff in the LPWA.
okay.
LPWA was a lot of fun. It was fun.
Mhm.
Go
Yeah.
to bed for like 3 or 4 days, and it was easy. I like that. That was at the end of my career right there. So
Mhm. It
yeah,
was really enjoyable. We like working with the different girls and everything because you always learn something different about each girl you got in the ring with.
Okay. Yeah. So, um, so in WWE, back in, like, I believe it was 1988 or 98. Oh, yeah, it was 1988. You ladies, you fought the Jumping Bomb Angels, which, from what I see, they were your main adversaries over there in WWE. And, there was a bit of a miscommunication where I believe they said, you ladies you weren't supposed to win the belts back from the Jumping Bomb Angels over in Japan, but they did end up. There was a title change that was not supposed to happen, and as a result, um, they were like, you know what? Like, Pat Patterson was, apparently he was furious about it. Am I correct? Was
Correct.
that what happened, or?
You're correct. You're correct because when Leilani and I were over in Japan against the Bomb Angels, that was where we was going to, have more matches on their end, on their side over in Tokyo and all that. And then we were supposed to come back here. And we're going to be working against other girls, and the Japanese girls was going to be working against other American girls. That way to build it back up to WrestleMania at the time. So that's why we were gone from New York from Vince's stuff for a while, because we were back over in Tokyo for 8 weeks. And the thing was that Moolah kept calling the office over there in Japan and telling them that we were supposed to get the belts back. And that was every day. And Leilani can tell you the same thing, that the guy that was in charge of the women over in Japan is the one that told us that she called the office every day, reminding them that for us to bring the belts back once, when we came back. And that's all we knew. That's all who we talked. That's all who we heard from while we was in Japan. We didn't hear from Pat Patterson and everything. Pat just told us when we left to go to Japan. Once we got back to the states here, to give him a call and let him know we were back in the states. So when we
Okay.
got back from the states, I think Leilani went somewhere else, was on the road somewhere else. And then I got a call from Pat, and I told Pat, I said, "Hey, we're back and everything." He says, "Well, um, why did y'all take the belts back?" I said, "Well, Mullah told us that y'all wanted us to take the belts back." And then he goes, "What in the f are y'all think y'all doing? Y'all just messed
Oh,
up everything." And I
wow.
tried to tell him that, that was Lillian. Lillian called that office every day asking for us to get the belts back. And she even got a hold of us personally and talked to us about make sure y'all get those belts back because the girls wasn't coming back at the same time we were coming back. And we told her, said, no, that's not what it's supposed to be. Anyway, when Pat said that, and Pat was very furious and everything, he said, y'all just can't change your mind every time y'all turn around. I'm like, Pat, we didn't. It was Mullah. You can call the office over there and find out. The guy from the office will tell you the same thing. And that's the last time I had talked to Pat. And then I told Leilani about, Pat said that, we'd messed up everything at that time. But, it was Mullah's fault that happened. And I know now that she was jealous because she wasn't getting the attention. And I don't think she ever really thought that Leilani and I would click. Well, she didn't because she always told us that, I was too tall. I was more blonde headed. Leilani was a dark head and she was short. We would never, never worked, which we proved her wrong. We did work because Leilani is such a great worker. I mean, she's very intelligent in there and she knew her stuff, which she led me most of the way on that too. So, I mean, I learned a lot from her and everything just clicked. We just had you know, not only being friends outside the ring and everything, inside the ring, it just clicked because each one of us were ourselves. She did what she needed to do and I did what I needed to do, and it just clicked. So that's how we became the Glamour Girls.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's awesome. That's awesome, man. That's very great to hear. And man,
being
I
the
always
girls was so much fun, especially when we first started it. It was a lot of fun. Vince McMahon gave us $1,000 each to go get our outfits and everything done. I think we started, with it like a week later, maybe. We'd already worked with the Bomb Angels for a while. So,
okay. Yeah, I always, I always say that, there was a lot that could have been done. And I always look at what if, now hearing the story, I always wonder what if, maybe we would have seen more tag teams, um, emerge, as a result of, if there wasn't that miscommunication, maybe we would have seen more longevity. Because I've always championed for women's wrestling. I've always wanted y'all to get, more opportunities. I know this is weird. It sounds weird coming from a guy, but I've always wanted, more opportunities for women's wrestling. I was very happy when, they reactivated the women's tag team championship. And but the one thing I don't know if you ladies saw when the new champions were crowned, but I always said, Vince and whoever was running creative at the time, and I told Princess Victoria this too when we had her on several months or a couple of years ago. There was a big thing that was missed there because picture this, right? Imagine, okay, now they're reactivating the women's tag team championships. Um, then you see the Jumping Bomb Angels in the crowd. Then you see Princess Victoria and Velvet McIntyre sitting in the crowd watching on. And as they show people, each of you, they're showing clips of, from back when y'all were competitors yourselves. And now you see that, the two people that are going to be fighting, whoever is going to be, whoever wins the match, they're going to be the new women's tag team champions. And they could have had one of you actually go ahead and present those titles, or both you actually go and present those titles to the winners, showing, well, hey, this is a passing of the torch, an acknowledgement of, yes, you ladies already carry on the legacy of the titles. I always thought that was a big moment that should have been made, and it was completely missed.
You're right. I think so too. It could have been. It could have. I think it could have been really exciting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I gotta ask you, ladies, what was your mindset when you saw that, when you heard the news that the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships, they're making a comeback? There's going to be a tournament for it. What were the Glamour Girls' thoughts on that announcement when it happened, and the tournament and everything?
Um, well, I'd like to have been there, for that. Um, but I think it was kind of impossible at the time. But I'd like to have been there and
I
presented the
would have.
belt.
Yeah, I would
Like
have too.
torch. That would have been good. That'd been nice, but it's too late now. But
Yeah.
because we did drop the belts to anybody, it's just forfeited, wasn't it? I mean, I don't think we dropped the belts to anybody, so we still really legally had them, but it's a whole different era there now, so than it was back then. So I guess it really just didn't matter. Anyway.
Yeah, I always, I had an argument with a whole fan the other day. He was like, I can't remember who it was. It was like some random fan. They were like, we had this argument that, that your era did not count as being part of the history of the title. I'm like, okay, well, Pat Patterson doesn't count then. He's like, no, he was he's the first Intercontinental champion. I'm like, okay, well, do you know that the Intercontinental Championship at one point was deactivated for like several months? And that, or like, I think it was a year, and then it was brought back. He's like, yeah, but okay, well, the Glamour Girls and Princess Victoria and Velvet McIntyre and the Jumping Bomb Angels, they count. This is no argument. And he shut up right there and then. And
I think any person that was a part of WWF history, is a part of today's too. Because without those guys from the back end, there would be no persons today.
right, definitely.
Uh,
Well, I just have two more questions before I turn over to Rob. I know Rob is chomping at the bit. Uh, Rob is in Rob looks a little younger than I am, but he's been watching probably a bit longer than I am too. So um, I know he's chomping. He's like, I can't wait to. So second to last question. So we've seen several tag teams have new incarnations. We've seen the new Midnight Express. When I was at a Pro Wrestling Syndicate show, which I saw you at, which I once I saw you wrestle at one of those shows, Leilani, as well, too, against Su Young. I've seen the new Heavenly Bodies as well, and I've seen several tag teams keep the same name, but they have new members, but with an acknowledgement to those that wrestled under that tag team name before. Let's see if you ladies saw two women that had a lot of potential, but they need a little bit of guidance from you two, right? Would you ladies ever consider having two women carry on the Glamour Girls name? Would it be like, nope, not happening? That's me, and that's our name. We appreciate you trying to. No, it's not going to happen.
It wouldn't bother me. I like
no,
it.
in fact, I think it would be an honor for that to happen.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love it. They had a tag team of Glamour Girls. Yeah, that's I think it's a great idea. Never thought about it, but it's a good idea.
I would
Yeah,
welcome
I know some people are like, you know, they'd be like, nope, nope, that's our tag team name. Nope, you can't go find some something else. Or some people would be like, yeah, sure, yeah, we're christening you, the new version of us, keep the name going and whatnot.
Well,
Yeah,
all the Glamour Girl juniors, and we're the seniors, so we do it like that.
yeah. So my last question, ladies. So you know, you like I said, you inspire. I know you inspired a lot of tag teams. I know people saw you ladies do it, in style, wrestling style and everything, and so much class and everything. And of course, now, of course, as I said before, WB, they reactivated the women's tag team championship. TNA did the same thing right afterwards, so they brought back the Knockouts tag team championships. NWA has their own, and now, of course, I don't know if you've seen AEW right now as we speak. They have a tag team tournament. They're having a tournament to crown the inaugural AEW Women's Tag Team Champions. If you could give any advice to the new women's tag teams out there, or let's say if you ladies saw two young girls who are going up and they studied your videos and they go, Judy, Leilani, me and my homegirl, me and we want to be a successful tag team like you, and you know they want to have that longevity and success and everything and so forth. What advice would you give those two young women who are looking to be as successful as the Glamour Girls?
um, always be kind. Um, the other girl always matters. Um, gosh, um, I can't think of anything else. As my mind's blank. Just I I don't know. I don't know how to explain that. That's kind of hard to explain. You explain, Judy.
I think first of all they got to realize, you know, there's two of you in there. And first of all, you do your thing and then the other girl has to do her thing. You have to combine, you know, what each one of you knows together to make a great tag team. Whatever Leilani could do best, she did it best. Whatever I could do best, I did my thing best. And
Judy
we
and I
just kind of needed it right into
I
the mat.
right? We did eye signals and all. We didn't really have to talk to each other.
Yeah,
We got it down really
we didn't.
good. Our chemistry was so good.
And just look at,
Yeah.
yeah, and just make sure you look after one another, you know, and help one another along because as a tag team, it's not just all about one person. It's about the both of you, and you've got to bring the best out of both of you to make that tag team work. And just remember the other girls you're working against too. You got to let them shine too. They're got to shine also. But it takes four people with five with the referee to make a great match and to know what you're doing in there. And the psychology is a lot of it. In the psychology of the ring and your timing and stuff like that. That's what they need to work on, make sure their timing is good. So that way, you don't have to look kind of crazy standing and look at wondering what the other girl's gonna do. You know what she do when she gets in there because you tag and you worked out enough to know what your partner's capable of. And she knows what you can do and you know what she can do and what y'all put together and your minds work together as one out there.
That's very well said, Judy.
Wow.
I
I,
I love I love giving advice to the ladies. I go a lot of times to a lot of the events 4 or 5 hours away and just go watch the ladies. I'll sit on front row and watch them and write things down, and they get in touch with me. Some of them do, and I tell them my opinion of their match, piece by piece. I break it down. So I'd love to be teaching. I'd love to teach, like a coach. I love that. So I go everywhere I can to watch these independent events, and what I know there's girls there. I do that, and I just say I'm the ambassador. Just think of me as the ambassador,
Yeah.
and
I'll tell you.
I get a lot of them. They write me and call me and ask me, watch the match, and I'll be on phone with them while they watch the match with me. And I'd love to do that. I want to be a coach, soon. I hope.
Honestly speaking, it would be honestly. It might be a bit far fetched. It would be cool if you ladies actually opened a wrestling school or something. That'd be kind. I can see it now, like this, like something like the school of wrestling glamour or something. Along. My creative juices aren't flowing
Yeah,
right now, but I could.
it could, it could be glamour wrestling for girls,
Yeah.
There you
ladies
go.
rather.
There you go. So for those of you ladies out there that are watching, that are looking to get in, that are looking to get into tag team wrestling, with your best friend or whatnot, or you know you're already in the business, and but you and this other person are deciding to become a tag team. Y'all just actually got some great advice from two legendary women who have actually been to the top of the mountain, and you know ha- still have a lot of advice to give. So you got a little something here from Ringside Society, courtesy. You got a little something from the Glamour Girls here, courtesy of Ringside Society. Anything else, you probably got to hit up their agent, and y'all would do lunch and whatnot. But you got a little something here from them. So you just heard the advice. Make sure you remember it. And if you can't remember it, just definitely make sure you watch this episode back on YouTube, and take that into consideration. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to Rob Bass. Rob Bass is giving me that look like, geez, when is this guy gonna shut up and give me a chance, man?
Oh, you
Rob,
good?
don't kill me, man. Or
Nah,
don't hurt me, man. The floor is yours.
no, you're good, man. But yeah, how are y'all doing today? Yeah, it's glad. I was excited all day waiting for to talk to you guys. You know what I mean? I've been excited all day. So how are y'all doing? Y'all making out? Y'all ready for the Thanksgiving holiday?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ready for the holidays.
Now, do y'all cook at your house, or are you going to like a family member's house?
Uh, I always go to a family member.
Okay.
We're gonna,
Yeah,
It,
and
it,
we generally my sister do most of the cooking for Thanksgiving around on our side of the family.
okay. So y'all usually do like a
Yeah.
turkey and all that good stuff every year?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
turkey, ham, dressing,
Ooh, yeah, I love ham.
chocolate cream pie,
So,
apple pie.
Yeah, yeah, because like with my
Yeah.
family, we like turkey and all, but like my mom, be like a year, be like, I'm doing meatloaf this year. Well, I'm going to fry some chicken breasts or something, slice them up. That's what we're doing. It's like, all right, I'm cool with that. Make a bowl of chili because I watch football. We're cool with that. And I think this year
Uh,
my sister, she's doing Thanksgiving because she was like, because my dad was like, talk to everyone. He was like, why don't we all go out somewhere, get like Chinese food or do something. My sister was like, I got some like turkey stuff. I got all the stuff here. I want to do it. And I was like, all right, I guess let's cook up. Let's cook in and clean up here. Whatever. Cool.
yeah,
So I'm all
Thanksgiving's
excited.
not Thanksgiving, I don't think, without a turkey.
Yeah, turkey's all right. Yeah, see, the ham though, that I love a ham, but that's
Oh,
usually like a Christmas thing though, like
yeah,
or
ham,
Easter.
the ham and potato salad. Woo!
Mm. Mm. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I love the mac and cheese. You know what I mean? Because like my mom and sister, they're country, so that mac and cheese is made with Crisco and a lot of love. So they got the good stuff in there. You know what I mean? Not no box stuff. We're good over here. I usually eat that, and I'm like a bear. You eat that, you're like a bear hibernating for 3 days. You're just whew, good sleep.
Mm.
That's right. That's right. So y'all were, talking about, you like coaching and, passing on your wisdom and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, man, it would be awesome, when you go to shows, because I'm here in Delaware and I work for 1CW. I don't really ref and stuff anymore, ring announce. I do a lot of the camera because we get the younger guys and gals in there doing that stuff. Because in my 40s, it's a little slower for me getting up. Sometimes I got to grab the rope. Let me hoist myself up. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. But yeah, y'all got to come out check out our ladies division and stuff, man. It'd be awesome. Because our champ right now is Christina Marie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, yeah. If y'all ever come out, that would be awesome. I would love it. Yeah, that'd be awesome. So, when you're talking about coaching, do you have to have like a mindset, to relate people to coaching, or can like anybody just do it? Because I don't think anybody can just coach. Like you can't just, like I don't think I could go up and coach anybody, if I knew anything, just do this, that, and other. Like, some people are born with that, like, okay, we gotta do this and the repetitive. Like, did y'all did y'all have that in you, or did you like work towards it? Like, the more you started coaching.
Did you ask a question?
Leilani's the one that
Yeah, yeah,
Leilani
yeah. I was
has
just
the coach
asking.
more the coaching than her.
Yeah, if you had the coaching, the mindset, because like some people, they don't they can like go out and perform, but they can't coach. You know what I mean? Like football, baseball players, they can play the game well,
Right.
but you get them coaching, whatever. Like, oh, I don't know,
Yeah.
So were you always
So,
like that, like a great coach mindset, or were you like, did you work towards like, okay, I can be a better coach, stuff like that?
Um,
I always try to
sorry,
work.
they're going in and out. I'm sorry. I've been getting closer and closer. Your
Uh,
voice has been in and out.
Oh, it is. I'm sorry.
I was trying to tell you that earlier. I said, that's why I'm just staring in the camera.
Oh, am I still going in and out on you?
Um, you're flubbing. Everybody's flubbing.
Oh
I'm
man.
sorry. Um,
Yeah, I was just asking about coaching. How you feel about coaching. I mean, if
I feel
the
about
coaching thing.
coaching.
Yeah, the coaching mindset.
Coaching women wrestling.
Yeah,
Well, I love it. That's what I want to do. That's my calling, and that's what I'm going to do. I love coaching. I mean, I want to be a mentor. I want to, teach what knowledge I've learned through the years. So I just want to be a coach and take all them babies and form them and do the best I can. I love women's wrestling. There's not one lady wrestler that I don't like. I love them all. I think they're all talented and have their own little personalities and work, and I love it. That's all I live for.
that's
So
awesome.
I'd like to be, a mentor or a coach, for anybody, anybody who wants any help. So it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah,
That's my
yeah,
coach.
that's right.
and we're always here for any kind of, anything, any girl that wants to be helped and everything, or all they gotta do is just reach out, and ask for Leilani,
Hmm.
I,
and she will be right there
oh yeah, yeah, I
making
will.
them the best they can be. And I
Oh,
will too. I'll be your backup. So
Yeah, that's right.
we'll make them another Glamour Girl team at the best is.
I love women's wrestling.
Now, during when I've trained and stuff, the hardest I've ever been hit was by Adriana Mosley. I've been hit by a bunch of people, but she hit me the hardest. She hit me so hard, I forgot how to sit down for like a couple days. I didn't know how to sit down. I was just standing everywhere. So if you ever see Big Daddy Adriana Mosley, yeah, that's a funny story about her. She hit me so hard, I forgot how to sit down.
Rob, Rob,
Yeah.
you know I got none but love for you like a brother, but please chill out with the training, man. We don't offer
Oh yeah.
insurance. We don't have health insurance here at Ringside Society. You only have Band-Aids and Bengay. I mean,
That's right.
you gotta take it easy.
Yeah. I do a lot of camera work now. I move behind the camera, so I'm doing that now. I'm a little safer, a little safer. But if they need me, ref or whatever, do that stuff. Yeah, I can do that. So so when y'all were wrestling, like, do you have any like funny like traveling stories or whatever? Like, not necessarily like ribs or anything, but like did y'all see anything crazy like a UFO or maybe a Bigfoot? You know what I mean? Because y'all are crossing the country, all the time, and what better to ask, if you've seen some crazy stuff than wrestlers, So yeah, any funny crazy traveling stories like that?
Um, well, nothing crazy, but I met celebrities, on my travel. I don't
Oh,
met
sweet.
really crazy. Um, I took a vacation one time from Japan. I went back to Hawaii. From Hawaii, I was going to New Zealand, and I had a friend over there that ran horses, like horse races.
Mhm.
And so I got on the plane to go to New Zealand, but I had to stop at one island to get on a small plane to go to Fiji Island first. And so I was on a small plane. We were going to the Fiji Island. I started looking at this guy sitting next to me, and he was smiling at me, and I knew he looked familiar. And I said, "Are you Raymond Burr from that lawyer?" He looked at me. He says, "No, no, I'm Marlon Brando. You can't recognize me." And first time I'd ever really like seen him, and like I didn't.
I didn't.
He looked so
He
much
looked
like
so much like
what's that
what's that
show
show?
um
Um,
Burr. The-
Yeah, I
Raymond Burr.
know
He
Perry
was
Mason.
looks
I know who Perry Mason is.
so much older, but he was drinking and he was laughing and talking to me and all. And then he said, if you want to, I'll invite you to my island. So I said, "Oh, you
Oh,
have an island?" I said, "Yeah, sure. You have an island." But he was like drinking and having fun, and so he gave me his card to his secretary in case I wanted to come to the island. I could come stay there, for a while. So that's like one of the exciting things that happened to me. And um, partied
that's
a few
awesome.
times with Andre the Giant. Um, that, that was a lot of fun. Uh, so, um, you got any stories, Judy?
well, it's a sad story.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, if you want to hear it.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, yeah, go ahead. If you want to tell it, yeah, sure.
Okay, well, it was what time when I was working with Robin on the road, and we were doing the Survivor series, and Pat Patterson kept coming back and telling me, he said, "Judy," he said, "this guy's been calling the office trying to get a hold of you. You need to call him." I said, "Call who?" And he said his name was Mr. Blackman or something like that. And I said, "Okay, don't worry, I'll call him back." And the next day we went to another show, and Pat come back there. He said, "Call that guy. He's still calling the office trying to reach you. He said it was important that he talked to you." I said, "Okay, Pat, I will." So, I did. And I waited till I got back home off the road. Then I was
Mhm.
sitting at home, and I says, let me call that guy. So I called him and everything, and this lady answers the phone. And I told her who I was and everything, and I was trying to reach him. And the lady kind of went silent. She didn't say anything. And she says, "Well, now, who are you again?" And I told her who I was, and I told her how I got the number and everything. And she said, "Hold on just a minute." So this other lady come to the phone, and she says, "How do you know my husband?" I said, "Huh?" She said, "My husband." I said, "Well, ma'am," I said, "all I got was a phone number telling me to call this guy about a plant, and all I knew was a pineapple plantation or something." And she said, "Well, I hate to tell you that he died yesterday."
Mm.
And I said, "Huh?" And she said, "Yeah, he passed away yesterday, and I guess we'll never know what he wanted to talk to you about." And I said, "I guess
Mm.
not." And I told her, I said, "I am so sorry to bother you." and that
Yeah, that's one
she
of the
hung
things.
up. And I was like, I never knew what the guy wanted or anything. So I just
But
figured he
then
was just a wrestling
yeah,
a fan, that wanted to talk
Yeah.
or something. But yeah, but I waited too late. So,
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's one of them things. Now the rest of your life you gotta be like, oh man, get that, just once in a while. I wonder what that person wanted. Oh man.
sometimes I just still do think about what did he want with me?
Yeah.
It's like would he give me a pineapple or what? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. You know what I mean? Yeah.
it
Maybe
might be
one job for like a
real.
pineapple commercial or something,
Yeah.
hey, we got the pineapple, we got this, hey.
Oh yeah. Oh, but
So, oh no, go ahead. I thought you were getting ready to say something.
oh
So
no.
anyway, so uh, so anyway, like are y'all watching anything new on TV or whatever? Because I always end up watching the same stuff over and over again. You know what I mean? So is
I
there
watch
anything new you've got
stuff over.
you've caught on?
I sure do. I watch the same stuff over and over.
Oh,
The
so you're just like me.
um
Yeah.
Little House on the Prairie.
Okay.
Not too much, so for during the day. So I like to listen to old shows. So
Okay.
from back in the 70s and 80s.
Hmm.
Well, I watched the first girl to ever have 12. Is it 12 belts?
Oh, Mercedes Monet.
Yeah.
There you go.
That was, that was totally different now, I say.
Yeah, there you go. That's cool. Yeah, yeah. I'm always watching the same stuff over and over. Like
Yeah.
same programs. Yeah, but I could ask like my mom and dad. I'll try to ask them. You watch anything new? It's like Gunsmoke, Law and Order. Magnum
Oh,
PI. Yeah,
you like Gunsmoke?
I've seen Gunsmoke. Yeah, yeah, it's not bad. I like Gunsmoke. I haven't seen it in a while. There's so many
Oh.
episodes.
Oh, yeah. I watched about all episodes, so I could probably tell you about all of them.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah, I believe it. Yeah, they used to come on all the time. Same with Little House. My mom loved Little House on the Prairie and stuff. Yes,
Oh, yeah.
I had that image of Laura Ingalls just running down the hill and the flowers, just burned in my mind. He's just running down with the theme song playing. Yes,
Yeah.
because I always remember him. He did that show. Michael Landon. He did that show after Highway to Heaven, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
That
I remember
was
Michael
always a
Landon.
good one.
Yeah.
I my 60% of my TV is women wrestling. I
Mhm.
watch the old ones and the new ones, and I
Hmm.
just watch it. I go on Pluto and watch the Wow women wrestling. You know,
Ooh, okay, yes.
24/7, and then when live ones comes on, as long as it has women on there, I'm going to watch it. So
Oh yeah, that's awesome. See, I forgot about Pluto TV. I didn't know that. Yeah, I forgot about Wow and stuff. Yeah, that stuff on there. Yeah, I always forget about Pluto TV because there's so much, so many streaming things to watch. It's like yeah, because I can go on YouTube. I like looking at old matches and all that stuff too. I love it. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just seeing how that just yeah, it was awesome back then.
Yeah,
I was actually at.
they got some
Yeah.
girls on Wild that I think can work pretty good.
Hmm. Yeah, I was excited because when I was watching some matches with y'all, back in the day and stuff, man, I was like, man, you guys were like the ones that you can make anybody look good. I swear you could get like two Pinocchio dolls and y'all would make them look like world champions in the ring. That's how good I thought y'all were in there. I was like, wow, like yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you would be my litmus test. Like if I had company in on there, it was like somebody want to break in, like let's see how you perform against them. You know what I mean? If you couldn't do nothing with them, like you gotta go. I mean, they are the ish. They are the stuff. I don't like the cuss, but y'all the stuff. That's what I thought.
where
So, before I, pass it on to Remy and stuff, I oh no,
y'all
go ahead.
are y'all up north?
Yeah, I'm in Delaware.
Yeah, I'm in
Uh,
New York.
It'd be cold there.
Yes, it's
Uh,
it,
Tampa, so it's warm here.
Oh yeah, yeah. This morning, it was 29 degrees and the heat was on, and whew, yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah, yeah. When it gets cold like that, I'm like, oh man, yeah, here we go, here we go. I need to get an electric blanket or something. So, before I pass it on to Remy and stuff, I want to ask, where did I have this thing? Okay, yeah, because I always like to, try to learn something new, keep the mind focused. Hey, have you all learned anything new lately? Even if it's something crazy, like oh man, a waffle maker does this, that, or the other. Anything new y'all have learned? Because I always try to learn something new.
um, I, I didn't understand what you said. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm just saying if you've learned anything new lately, like uh, you know, anything like a new math problem or a new fact or something.
Um, okay. I like to cook, so
Hmm.
I'm experimenting with chicken and dumplings right now, and I've
Ooh,
made
okay,
4 times, and it's just not right yet. So that's what I experiment with. So
okay. So you're learning how to make chicken and dumplings. There you go.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's something that counts. Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, but yeah, when you can.
Betty Crocker, she does jarry and she does all kinds of like vegetables. I guess they got a big garden. She's always making up some good stuff. I like following Velvet. She's
That's
really a
right.
Betty Crocker now. Yeah, so
That's right. Now, when you perfect that chicken and dumplings, you got free some and ship it to me or something. You know what I mean? Because I'll tear some chicken and dumplings up. I love that. I'm
um,
always on operation. I'm on Operation Fatten
I
Up Rob.
this time I put too many biscuits in it and it blew up. It looks
Mm.
awful. So I stirred it. It was no juice. I had to add more juice. It was just this time wasn't that good. I just made it yesterday.
Oh man,
So I like to experiment.
I
It
got
was
faith.
good.
You'll get it. You'll get it. You'll get it one day.
Well, I'm trying to learn how to sew.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
So
I want to make this thing for wrestling and everything. I don't think it's ever been done, but I'm not going to say what it is because somebody else take it.
that's
But
cool. That's
anyway,
cool.
whenever I get it made, then I'm going to show everybody what it is.
Okay, that's
Uh,
pretty cool. Yeah. Are you okay? Yeah, sewing and stuff. Yeah, you got to have some talent and stuff for that. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
I could do it. My hands
It's
shake too
something
much.
like a remembrance of, remembrance of the, I guess, I'd say with the people that we work with along with the years we were coming up and wrestling and everything, and we work with on the road and stuff like that.
Hmm.
It's just gonna be a remembrance thing. But,
That's pretty cool. That's awesome. Yeah, man. Yes, learn to sew. I just learned the basic things. Like if a button fell off, to sew it on at home ec. Like when we were in seventh, eighth grade. I just know that. My hands shake too much. I guess. Like I don't have those surgeon hands. Like.
um, I just don't have the patience. My patience isn't there to sit down and just spend hours and hours at
Hmm.
a sewing machine
That's
to
right.
get it done.
Now,
So
now my sister, she does the crochet thing. Like where she make like quilts or pillows or
oh
animals or
yeah.
whatever stuff. She does that. Like she'll do it at work because she does dispatching for the police or whatever. And sometimes it's
Mhm.
real slow and you're just sitting there like, and she'll do that there and it's like, all right, yeah. She'll be like,
Wow.
Mom, Dad, give everybody stuff like, here, I made this and stuff. You want it? All right, cool.
Hmm. No,
I
that's
got a good
cool.
scarf from
So
her one time. Yeah, she gave me a good scarf
mm,
one time. I think I still have it somewhere. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. So now, before I pass it on to Remy, I do want to say, I want to say thank you all very much for taking time out of your busy schedule, your day, come on chat with us. I had a blast. It was awesome chatting with you. I wish nothing but the best for y'all. I hope everything you want to do in life, you do it and it succeeds and y'all kick butt and all that good stuff.
thank you, honey.
thank you.
Ladies, Judy, Leilani, thank you very much, for taking time out of your busy schedule to be on, out of your busy schedules to be on our shows. I really
I,
and truly
I
appreciate. I
uh,
said,
I'm gonna have to watch this later because everybody's flubbing, and I swear I've just been sitting here trying to concentrate on what you're saying. I have to repeat it again.
it's
Um,
okay. I was
it,
saying, thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedules to be guests on our show. We really and truly appreciate it. It's an honor to have two legendary women sit down here and talk about their wrestling career and everything. We never thought this would happen, but we really and truly do appreciate it. Once again, we do apologize for the late start. We just had some personal matters that we had to attend to that, you know, there was for some reason they were just unavoidable. So but we thank y'all, and we wish y'all nothing but the best. We hope to see you, get that Hall of Fame induction with WB. And also, like I said, if y'all open that wrestling school, best believe, because we've done it before with the Nightmare Factory, and we've done it with several other wrestling schools. Best believe, if we see the Glamour Girls open a wrestling school, we will definitely be looking at the graduates, like, oh, you graduated, congratulations. Let's talk about your journey and everything, and so
Mhm.
on. Because we don't just interview the legends, we interview the future as well. So, you know,
That's
if that
great.
happens, we're definitely looking forward to it.
well,
Well,
thank
thank you for.
you, and to all your listeners also.
Yeah.
I had a good
Yeah.
time what I could hear. I wish I could answer things better. I just couldn't understand some of the flubbing. I just struggled through it, and I didn't want to stop it. And if you can hear me clear, I didn't want to get stopping because I couldn't hear you, so I was just try. But
Yeah, we could definitely hear you. We could definitely hear you clearly, Lottie. And by the way, that match you had against Sue Young back in 2013, I will never forget. It's etched in my mind. You ladies
where,
definitely tore the house down.
where was that at?
It was in New Jersey,
New Jersey.
2013. 2013. I believe Heidi Lee Morgan was there too. She was in attendance.
Yeah, good old Sue Young. I got some pictures with her. Yeah. All the girls, we were working for Shine Wrestling back then. So, but yeah, I was too young.
Oh yeah. So so before we shut this down, where can fans find you ladies on social media when they want to find out where your next appearances are, purchase, Glamour Girls merchandise, and where can bookers and promoters find you? Like once you um, Rob is gonna kill me after this. But where can bookers and promoters find you ladies on social media if they want to when they want to book you for their shows?
Okay, mine is bookprowrestlers.net, and then there's Leilani, the real Leilani Kai on Twitter and Instagram, and then there's my fan. So that's where anybody can reach me.
Okay.
And for me, they can reach me through Leilani on bookprowrestling.net or on Facebook. I'm on Facebook, but I don't get on that much, but I will. If you can contact me through text or whatever, be great. So, and I look forward to meeting everybody out there. And you guys, thank you for having me on. I enjoyed it.
Bye.
Aw-
Thank
Awesome. So for those of you that are watching and listening, make sure you follow these two incredible women. And bookers and promoters, you heard them. They gave you their um, links for emailing them. So definitely make sure you book these women for your conventions, for your events. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. Two legendary women, former WWF Women's Tag Team Champions. Y'all get at it. So with that being said, it's about time for us to shut this show down. My eyelids are getting heavy. My stomach is rumbling. That means it's time for dinner and a nap. Well, maybe not in that order, but before I partake in those activities, Rob Bass, the the Riggs to my Murtaugh, the Bub Ray to my Devon, and the Charlie Haas to my Shelton Benjamin. Where can fans find you on social media when they want to, talk wrestling, find out Wayne appearances, purchase Rob Base merchandise? And where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
All right, you can find me on Facebook, Rob Base, and I'm on Instagram, Rob Base82. And this Saturday, you can catch me in Harrington, Delaware, with 1CW. We're putting on a show. It's toys. It's Toys for Tots. So if you got an extra toy, bring it in. You know what I mean? I think you get like a couple dollars off on the ticket or something, I believe, or whatever. But yeah, definitely bring in the toys. Toys for Tots. Our show where it's being taped for TV, Delmarva Sports Network, so be ready, cheer loud. All the fallout that happened 2 weeks ago or whatever, we're going to see what's going on now, you know what I mean? So definitely you don't want to miss out, you know what I mean? So everything that happened 2 weeks ago, yeah, you need to come to Herton and see what's going on. So yeah, definitely don't miss out. Oh yeah, show starts at bell time 6, doors open at 5.
Awesome. And if you want to find me on social media, not that I say a lot of cool things, but first off, before I go into my own my own rant, make sure you guys check out 1CW, man. They're a really great promotion. I'm not just saying this because Rob is my co-host. I've actually been to one of their shows last year, and I was thoroughly satisfied. Shout out to Sean Hardy and the rest of the gang, and Sean Carlson and the rest of the gang for the great work that they're doing there. And if 1CW is in your area, definitely make sure you check them out. Now, if you want to find me on social media, not that I say a lot of cool things, but I do go to a lot of cool places. You can definitely find me on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok at the Remy Blue. I'm also on Facebook as Remy Blue as well on there. And I'm also on Blue Sky. It's same thing at RemyBlue.bsky.social. However, not important. That's not important. Our podcast is also on social media as well. We're actually on Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky all across the board at Ringside Society. We're on Twitch at Ringside Society 2019. We're on Facebook as a Facebook group. And we're also on Spotify and Teespring, where we sell our official Ringside Society merchandise. We have T-shirts, we have hoodies, we even have coffee mugs for your favorite beverage, and all proceeds go back into keeping our show afloat.
You still there, Remy and Bob? Rob, you still there?
Yeah. I think Remy
Oh,
paused for a second. I think he paused up on the outro. Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry,
Isn't
I
that the
just want
darndest thing? I swear. I swear.
to.
Technology these
I
days.
thought
You
it
think,
stopped.
3 steps forward, 5 steps backwards. Oh my lord.
Okay, I just want to wish you a happy holidays for Thanksgiving and be safe out there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, if he's paused right now, I guess I'll do this. Thank you for tuning in. You can check us out, check everybody out. You know, uh, we try to be the best podcast, around, and oh, here we go.
Oh, I'm back. Sorry. Uh, yeah, my phone. Yeah, when it rains, it pours. But yeah, good job on the on the send off, Rob. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
was trying.
so
I was trying.
yeah, but all proceeds go back into keeping our show afloat. We have a lot of we're gonna be starting a new collection with our in your city series on our merchandise where we have our logo with different colors that represent your city. So watch out for that. And last but not least, we're also on YouTube where you can see great episodes like this one, like the one we had recently with Doomsday from over on the West Coast, and all of our prediction shows and everything. You can find those episodes on YouTube, and to see them, it's very simple. It's not even pre-algebra. Just go on YouTube and type in Ringside Society, and once you see that really good-looking dark blue and light blue yin yang sign with the blue flames around it, that's when you know it's us. So make sure you subscribe to all our videos because we got a lot of cool stuff coming up and you don't want to miss a thing like Aerosmith in 1998. But with that being said, we just want to thank everybody tuning in live tonight. Thank you very much. We really and truly appreciate it. We're very grateful. We're humbly grateful for those of you that even bother to give us a listen, or a review. We don't do this for us. We do this for, the wrestling culture, and we're not going to stop doing that. We're going to keep on striving with what we do. We strive on being one of the best wrestling podcasts a wrestling fan could, should, and would listen to. And we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop doing that. To those of you that are going to listen later on, we get a chance. Thank you very much in advance. And those y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really and truly wish, and just really and truly wish we'd go away. Well, like Rob Bass at a taco festival, and myself at Gordon Corral, we're not going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us.
And we ain't stopping. With that being said, we just want to let everybody know that we're very well and aware that everybody and their grandparents and the parents of a podcast, but we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. See, with that being said, hey yo, Rob Bass, one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, and one time for the two-time former WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, or WWF Women's Tag Team Champions, Judy Martin and Leilani Kai, the Glamour Girls.
Woo!
What type of podcast are we?
We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast.
That's right, we're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society, and we'll be back. We're going to be off for Thanksgiving, so we're not going to be back next week. We're going to, we're going to be off. We're going to be celebrating that joyous time. But with that being said, we'll be back later on, next month, with another impressive guest on another impressive episode. But until then, we just have four favors. As a matter of fact, before I go into the four favors, this Thanksgiving season, it's a great time for those of you that actually celebrate. Enjoy this time with your families. Enjoy this time with your loved ones and friends. Eat a lot, drink responsibly, and also, have fun, but not at anybody else's expense. Have fun, but don't, rain on, be obnoxious about it. So we wish that for y'all, and come back in one piece. Come back in one piece. That's all we're asking. So once again, same four favors: stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and enjoy wrestling. We out. Peace.
See y'all. Stay classy, Delaware.